Good afternoon. We will continue that one. In the plate load test, we have seen through the diagram all the things. So we'll just go through this one. Okay, we'll just go through this one. So the test essentially consists of rigid plate that we have seen. Okay, it's at the foundation level and it will settle. It will determine what settlement. So no problem in understanding this one. So UBC is what? UBC is what? That load at which plate starts sinking fast rate. So we have seen this curve, no? We have seen. So that load at which sinking is fast. So it is a rapid rate. So this is your UBC. This is your UBC. So that is what it is written. UBC is that load at which plate starts sinking. The loading to test plate may be applied with the help of hydraulic jack. It was there in the diagram. Okay. So you have two cases, no? One is gravity loading, another reaction truss. Whatever diagram we have seen, no? That was a gravity loading platform. In the previous video, we have seen gravity loading platform. We will detail study. We will detailedly study that one. Reaction truss method later we will study. Okay. So in gravity loading platform, what were the things? What were the things we have seen? Platform is there. We have seen no, some sandbags platform was there. So that is there. That vertical columns means what? Some joists were there. Some again horizontal girder was there. Okay, resting on the platform. The loading is done with the help of sandbags that we have seen. So other things also can be used, stones, concrete blocks. Okay, when the load is applied to the test plate, means what? At the end you have some test plate, there is a loading post. What is happening here? The settlement. Okay, so the plate will start settling. What is written here? Plate will start settling. The settlement of the plate is dial gauge. Through the dial gauge we can measure that one. Through the dial gauges were there here. Okay, small dial gauges, so you can record that one. So dial gauges are mounted independently on the datum bar. This datum bar also we have seen. As the plate settles, RAM on the dial gauge, matlab reading, RAM reading, okay, moves down and settlement is recorded. Don't worry about all those things. You just understand with respect to datum bar, what is the settlement is measured by dial gauge. Dial gauge records the settlement with respect to datum bar bus, okay, and the load is indicated. And the load is indicated through what? Load gauge through hydraulic jack. Load gauge through hydraulic jack. Where is that load gauge? We will see here. Load gauge. In this diagram we will see. Okay. This portion. Here we have load gauge. Okay. Here we have load gauge. Can easily identify. Some portion may be here, maybe it is not clearly shown. Don't worry about the other. You have to measure two things. One is load, one is settlement. That's all. To measure the settlement, you have dial gauge. To measure the load, you should have here load gauge. That's all. Okay. So in this next portion, in this what is this? Next type of method, that is reaction truss method. Reaction truss method. Okay. What we have studied, what method we have studied, it was called as a plate load test by gravity method. Na? Plate load test by gravity method. Okay. Now we will see plate load test by reaction truss method. So what is this plate load? This was gravity loading platform, no, that was completed. Now here the loading is done using some truss. We call it as reaction truss. Don't worry about all those things. If you see this bottom portion, is there any difference? No, nothing difference is there. Same steel plate is there, same dial gauges are there, same datum bar, same loading jack, okay, post loading, everything is there, same thing. Only how that load is put on this one is made by this reaction truss. That's all. Reaction truss. So now in this reaction truss, there will be members, other members, no, like this, some other members. As you put extra members, load is increased. That's all. You understand this way only. Okay. There is a truss and it is called by the name reaction truss. Okay. So if you put the members on here, the reactions will develop in these members also, correct no? So to make it equilibrium reactions, so in generally by putting the members, extra additional members, this load is transferred, additional load is transferred here. To make it more stable, semicircular trough arrangement is there, trough arrangement, anchors are there, cross girders are there, cross girders, everything is there. Okay, so reaction truss, by adding more members, load is put on the loading post, settlement is occurring, and that is measured with the dial gauge. Simple words you can understand. Okay, gravity and reaction truss, both way, in both cases loads are increased or changed and the settlement is measured, and at some point slowly increasing the load slowly increases the settlement. At some point of time increment in settlement is very fast. So this is called as its UBC, ultimate bearing capacity. That's all. Okay. So that reaction truss points I have explained here, easy that one, that what we have explained there only. Okay, so the reaction of the jack is borne by the reaction truss, that's all. Don't worry about all those things. Reaction of the jack means what? That reaction, by adding the members you can increase the load. Okay, so now the anchors we have shown in the diagram to make it more stable. Okay, so the reaction truss is usually made up by mild steel section. Okay, so guy ropes, stability purpose, these have been added there, that's all. Okay, now very important term. Okay, what is happening here? We have to understand, if the SBC of the soil is weak, means what? For small load, settlement is very high. Like this soil will settle. Now have you seen the roads where if vehicle goes, there is a depression, that is nothing but settlement of the soil, no, there. Okay, so for a small load settlement is large. How to make this soil strong, or in other words, how to improve the SBC? First is increasing the depth of foundation. How to understand? By taking the depth of foundation a little bit deeper, so you get more area exposed, no, which is strong, more area exposed. That is why the BC increases with the depth, bearing capacity increases with the depth. Okay, so that way you can, increasing the depth of foundation, you can improve the SBC. But it is not economical. Why? As you go deeper and deeper, cost is also increasing, no? So that is why it is not economical. Okay, second point, by compacting this soil, by compaction you can increase, no, obviously. So if you put more pressure here, all side you compact, soil particles will come very near to each other, so its strength increases, so it will reduce the settlement. So loose soil settles more, compact soil settles less. That is the compaction property. Compaction of natural soil results in improvement. Okay, that is a simple. How you can compact? There are very large methods. Ramming the soil means what? The soil is there, you put some water and you take this kind of a instrument is there, you continuously hit with this one, so it is also called as ramming. Ramming is nothing but compacting. Rubble compaction means what? If rubble compaction, one second. Okay, now you are excavating like this, here the soil is a little bit weaker in bearing capacity. So what you do, you put rubble stones are nothing but some stones which have 30 to 45 centimeter, means this thickness. Okay, up to 40 centimeter thick, you put the boulders or you put the rocks, and over this small layer of soil is there that you put, and you ram this one. So what will happen? It will create one stable base for the foundation which is coming here. Stable foundation. So by putting rubble stones and compacting also increases the bearing capacity. First is ramming, simply ramming. Second is by putting the boulder stones and ramming. By putting the boulder stones and ramming increases the bearing capacity. Okay. Third is vibration, very easy. By whatever soil is there, you put a vibration, okay, maybe roller vibrator, maybe compacting vibrator, whatever vibrating equipment will compact that one. Again, compaction will increase the bearing capacity. Simple, compaction will increase the bearing capacity. Next, flooding the soil. Flooding the soil is only applicable to sandy soils. Means what? For sand and all, where they are very loose. They are very loose. If you put more water, saturated water, sand will get compacted. That is the meaning here. Only it is applicable to sand. Flooding the soil means what? Fully filling this one with the water. Fully filling with this one with the water. Okay, now what is this compaction by preloading? Preloading results in accelerated consolidation. The load used for this process is removed before the construction of footing. It is nothing but if there is a soil. If actual building comes, settlement is like this much. If settlement is this much. Okay, now what you are going to do before construction, you are preloading it. One preloading means some equipments will be there. This will apply same type of load as this one. This will apply same type of load here. So this soil is settled now, and once the soil is settled, no, it is automatically that bearing capacity is little bit stronger now. Before settling, its bearing capacity may be little bit less. After settlement, after this settlement, because here soil is compacted now, here soil is compacted, so whatever new structure will come on this area is safe now, on this structure is now. So that is why compaction by preloading means what? Before construction of the structure, that much load is put, so that soil will settle and compaction will take place, and it is removed, and actual structure will come here. So this is called as compaction by preloading. What is this? Using this next method, sand piles. Using these sand piles, hollow pipes are driven into the ground at close interval. Here if it is a ground level, some pipes are driven into the closed interval. This will result in a compaction. What will happen if we are putting the pipe, no, this will compact the soil here, this will compact the soil, this will compact the soil, this will compact the soil. So whatever the area is there, no, whatever the area between the two adjacent pipes will get compacted. So that is what it is written here. So by driving the pipes closed interval, this results in the compaction of the soil enclosed between the pipes. These two pipes. Okay. After this, slowly it is removed. Slowly these pipes are removed. Okay. So some space is there, no? Some space is there. After removing the pipes, you fill this one with sand. Okay. Now here, so after removing these pipes, some hollow portion is there, so there you can fill the sand. But here sand is compacted. So compacted sand, improvement in bearing capacity. Okay. Next is drainage. What is this drainage of soil? Drainage is providing a path, providing some path for what? Water. Okay. If there is a ground level, soil is there, continuously moist water is coming here and there. So water is there, bearing capacity is down. If full dry, bearing capacity is up. So what you are going to do is you are giving some drainage pipes, so that water is collected wherever, so wherever water may be, water collected, and it is collected and disposed. So this taking the water here, taking the water away, okay, from this one will increase the bearing capacity. So that is not, water is there, decrease in bearing capacity. So drainage will remove the water, so bearing capacity increases. Okay. Confining the soil. What do you mean by this confining? So you restrict this soil is there, no? This soil. You restrict this by providing some sheet piles. If this soil is restricted, this inside soil is restricted, not able to move here, there, any position, so that is called as confining soil. That is called as confining the soil. How you can do confinement? You can confine it by providing the sheet piles. So if by confining also you can increase the bearing capacity. You can increase the bearing capacity here by driving the sheet piles. By driving the sheet piles. Next is what? Grouting. Grouting means what? You are injecting cement mortar or some mortar inside this soil. So that mortar will spread throughout this soil portion and it will fill all the holes, blocks, small things, and it will make a soil very dense. Very dense. So dense mean dense if the density is high or if it is a dense density is high means bearing capacity is also very high. So that is why we have no. So if cement grout is forced through these, if cement grout is injected or grouting is done, so that cracks, voids, fissures, so there may be some cracks, there may be some fissures or voids. So everything is filled with this cement grout and it will result in increasing its bearing capacity. Increasing in its bearing capacity. Okay. Most probably this is the last one. What is this? Chemical treatment. By injecting chemicals also you can increase the bearing capacity. That you should understand. Okay. By injecting the chemical. So how many methods we have seen? Okay. How many methods? Depth of foundation can be increased. Compacting the soil. In compaction you have two or more things: ramming, rubble compaction, vibration, flooding, compaction, preloading, sand pile. So all those are compaction. Okay. Next is the drainage. If you provide a drainage, it is stable. Confinement, it is also there. Grouting, chemical treatment. So these are some of the methods.